New teasers from Emmerdale for the upcoming week may reveal what lies ahead for Bear Wolf following his confession to killing Ray Walters, as police move forward with charges against him. This week's episodes showed tense moments as Bear was interrogated after admitting responsibility for Ray's death. With previews confirming he will be formally charged with manslaughter, viewers were left concerned that the popular character might be written out. As Bear insists on accepting the consequences of his actions, the latest hints could suggest whether he is set to depart. He declares that he plans to plead guilty, while his anxious son Paddy clings to hope that he might avoid jail despite the charge. However, it appears Bear may be freed for the time being, as he is seen back in the village next week. According to spoilers, when Ray's funeral takes place, Bear learns about the service and wants to be present. His decision triggers further tension within the family, and he soon begins to unravel under the strain. At the same time, he is battling withdrawal after being supplied with powerful pain medication by Ray for months before his death. Viewers will recall that Bear was controlled and taken advantage of by Ray and his mother, Celia Daniels, in a disturbing modern slavery storyline. After suffering a severe arm injury, Bear was prescribed strong medication, and Ray continued providing the tablets every day. He developed a reliance on them, and since stopping, he has been desperately seeking relief wherever he can find it. In the coming episodes, he turns to drink after local GP Manpreet Sharma declines to issue another prescription for the drugs he longs for. Combined with his remorse over Ray, this pushes him further into crisis. Even so, he remains in the village before later being taken to hospital. This raises the question of whether he has been released, even if only briefly. The episodes airing at the end of this week and into next should offer more clarity. Actor Joshua Richards recently spoke to The Mirror, suggesting that an exit is not currently planned, although he implied that a stint behind bars could still be possible as the storyline unfolds. 9 major Emmerdale twists coming next week, 23 to 27 of February. In the upcoming episodes of Emmerdale, Graham and Cain unexpectedly join forces after the mechanic's health crisis comes to light. Meanwhile, Ray's funeral pushes Bear to breaking point and sparks serious tension between Laurel and Arthur. Here's a breakdown of the 9 biggest developments ahead. Number 1. Joe seeks payback. Joe instructs Graham to retaliate against Cain for taking his vehicle. Kim is unimpressed, as she would prefer to see tension grow between Joe and Graham instead. Sarah is eager to continue boosting cars with her grandfather, but Cain refuses to back her scheme, worried about the farm's money troubles. When Sarah discovers Cain is planning one final job, he makes it clear she is not to take part. The question is whether she will obey him. Number 2. Graham uncovers the truth. Breaking into Butler's farm, Graham stumbles upon Cain's oncology letter, but is caught in the act. A confrontation follows, and although Cain fights back, Graham quickly gains the upper hand as Cain is already worn down. Sympathetic after learning about the illness, Graham quietly returns Joe's stolen car and invents a story about how he recovered it. Number 3. Kim misreads the situation. Graham later approaches Cain and admits he knows about the cancer diagnosis. He urges Cain to end the feud with the Tates and concentrate on Moira and his recovery. When the pair shake hands in a sign of understanding, Kim wrongly concludes they are secretly collaborating. The following day, she instructs Joe to test Graham's loyalty by damaging equipment on the farm. Number 4. Moira finds renewed strength. After a crisis leaves sheep trapped inside a barn, Cain feels overwhelmed, but manages to organize a rescue effort. He later visits Moira feeling uplifted, but his mood shifts when he notices her bruised eye. Moira reassures him she is ready to keep fighting, drawing encouragement from his support. Number 5. Ray's funeral day. Ray's burial stirs emotions across the village. Despite mixed feelings, Laurel cannot bear the idea of him having no mourners and asks Charles to attend on her behalf. When Charles suggests she accompany him, Laurel reconsiders and ultimately goes along with him and Claudette. Number 6. Bear reaches breaking point. Concerned that Ray's funeral will trigger painful memories, Bear's family hides the details from him. However, Claudette unintentionally lets it slip, and Bear insists on going. Paddy panics when he realizes where Bear has gone and lashes out at Laurel in fear for his dad's well-being. Bear's fragile state worsens further when Manpreet refuses to prescribe more pain medication. He turns to alcohol instead, and Laurel tries to offer comfort. Later, when he ends up in hospital with an injury, his emotional turmoil escalates dramatically. Number 7. Arthur clashes with Laurel. Arthur is furious that Laurel attended Ray's service and struggles to process his anger. Although Laurel tries to see things from his perspective, their heated argument spirals, ending with Arthur pushing her and causing her to hit her head on the stairs. With Laurel admitted to hospital, questions loom over whether Arthur's actions will come to light. Number 8. Aaron supports Bear. Aaron manages to connect with Bear and encourages him to speak about his pain. Drawing on his own past involving Gordon, Aaron helps Bear recognize the complicated emotions that follow abuse and reassures him that he is not at fault. Still, Bear suggests Aaron cannot fully understand without knowing everything that happened. Number 9. Lewis and Vinny grow closer. After Ross attempts to play matchmaker, Vinny and Lewis find themselves drawn together on the farm. In the aftermath of rescuing the flock, emotions run high and they finally share a kiss. Yet the moment is short-lived, as Lewis abruptly leaves afterwards, leaving doubts about where their relationship now stands. Laurel Thomas faces a life-threatening ordeal in Emmerdale next week after a shocking confrontation with her son turns violent. Arthur's fury spirals during a heated clash about her decision to attend Ray Walter's funeral. As emotions explode, could Arthur have unintentionally caused his mother's death? And will he tell the truth about what really happened? Strain builds between Laurel and Arthur as Ray's burial approaches, reopening the trauma he inflicted on them earlier this year. Hardly anyone in the village wants to honor the criminal, yet Laurel finds herself unexpectedly torn. Despite Ray's terrible actions, she feels uneasy at the thought of his service taking place without a single person there. When Charles Anderson asks whether she would like to go, Laurel seriously considers it. Beowulf, still deeply affected by his past ordeal, also believes attending the funeral might bring him some sense of closure. He ultimately goes along with Laurel, much to Paddy Dingle's alarm. Arthur, however, is furious when he discovers his mother chose to say a final goodbye to the man responsible for so much suffering. After the service, he confronts her at home and demands to know why she would mourn someone like Ray. The argument quickly escalates. Laurel attempts to remain composed and understand her son's anger, but she is horrified when the situation becomes physical. Charlotte Bellamy, who portrays Laurel, explains that Arthur pushes his mother, causing her to fall down the stairs and strike her head, leaving her badly concussed. With Laurel rushed to hospital, the question becomes whether Arthur's involvement will be revealed. Charlotte adds that the storyline highlights the instinct of a parent to shield their child. Laurel does not want others to see Arthur in a negative light, and she would absolutely protect him if necessary. After already losing control once, will Laurel conceal the truth about the incident? And if she does, could Arthur's aggression escalate further, placing both her and the rest of the family in greater danger?